Hello everyone, I am at Home Depot. Let's go see what they have in the garden section. Not sure what I'm looking for, maybe some flowers and maybe some strawberries. Who knows what we're gonna find, but let's go walk around, see if we find anything that catches our eye, and we'll see what happens in this video. I'm not really sure what is gonna happen, so join me. Okay, these are my dream garden. I'm not gonna get them today because these ones don't look like the super healthiest, but they are bleeding hearts. They are so cool. My great grandparents used to have them at their house, and yeah, I've always just absolutely loved them. I know where I want to plant them, but that area is not ready for these. Probably won't be ready this year, so this is probably a purchase for next year. So everything is still covered because it was really cold last night. These are the only strawberries that I'm seeing, and there are 3 plants per container, and each container is almost $16. A little bit more than what I am wanting to spend on some strawberries this year. Next year I'm gonna get ahead of it and get the strawberries while I can still get them cheaper and bare root. Here's some other veggies, tomatoes that we can see, but you know, a lot is underneath the tarps. But I did pick out some peppers I'm gonna show you, because if you don't know, my husband and I have a hot sauce business. He does a lot of hot sauce and I do a lot of baking. We don't have any habaneros. I tried to plant some, but they never came up. And then Armageddon, he's gonna be excited when he sees that. We have Reapers at home and some Fresnos and a bunch of others, but we do not have these, so we're gonna get these and get him some gloves so that he can start on the garden today. And I think that's all we're gonna get here, unfortunately. I really wanted to get some strawberries, but I'm not gonna spend that much on strawberries. This is also what else I can see, but yeah, I'm gonna go buy this and then we're gonna go home and yeah. Hello everyone, I'm Tiffany. I am in Minnesota, Zone 4B, and today we are starting to plant. I know I'm a little bit late for some of the things that I'm planting today, but better late than never. I just had a baby, so I'm about 2 weeks postpartum. And I'm like, hey, let's get some planting done. I'm so excited. Been looking forward to planting for quite some time. And yeah, so what I am planting today, I have a 4-tier shelf right over there. I'll show you guys in a second. But in that shelf, we are planting some baby spinach, some chives, some mixed salad, and microgreens. I wanted to do herbs in it, but then I was looking at the package on the herbs and I decided that that probably wouldn't be best for the little planter that we have. So we're gonna do these microgreens and see how that goes this year. We are still working on installing our garden. We have a lot of work to do over there before I can get everything else in the ground, but yeah. Another thing that I'll be planting today, I have 6 pots, and my husband and I have a hot sauce and cookie business, but for the hot sauce we want to make all of our own peppers, or grow all of our own peppers, and I read that pepper plants can be perennial and they just need to be taken in the winter. So I'm going to try that this year. We have some pepper plants back here and some flowers that are not doing so hot, but that's an issue for another day. If you have any tips, let me know. But I have some pepper plants back here that we are going to be planting in pots, and they're just going to stay on the deck all summer long. I'll be watering them hopefully daily, and hopefully I can keep them alive. The rest of the pepper plants are going to go in the garden. We have a ton of pepper plants. A ton, I promise. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get some gloves. You know what? I'm not going to wear gloves today. I have my soil over here. I'm not gonna do anything special. I'm just gonna get it all planted, watered, and yeah. If you are enjoying this type of content, please let me know in the comments and hit that subscribe button, as it really helps me out. I'm super excited. We do farmers markets all summer long, and I will be doing recap videos on those farmers markets, and I'm gonna be doing gardening videos all summer long as well. Hopefully we get a good yield and I can create some more content with the yield that we get. But yeah, without further ado, let's get to planting. So I tried to plant some flowers in these solo cups and it did not work, mainly because I did not make any drainage holes, and so I did not water them, and plants need water, so of course they didn't work. But that's okay. I am reusing the soil. I don't think that the seeds will come up, but even if they do try to germinate, they will be buried pretty deep. I am gonna put new soil on top, so I shouldn't have to worry about those flower seeds popping through the soil at all. Basically now we're just gonna fill up these pots with soil and then plant some peppers. I can't remember what peppers I planted. Also, sorry, I have a baby on my chest who has something to say, apparently. But I know we planted the Fresno and the Reaper, Armageddon that I had bought at Home Depot, and the habanero that I bought at Home Depot. But I don't remember the two small ones. That's my problem, is I never write or label anything, and so I don't remember what is what. I will need to do a better job marking down what I have next year and labeling. But I'm basically going to be doing a whole new setup next year with gardening and starters and everything. We are currently looking into getting a rolling greenhouse for our garage and getting some lights and a fan in there and maybe a heater to see. I'm not sure if we'll need that though, but looking into getting all of that for next season. But this season we're just using what we have, which was a couple of grow lights. I can put them in the description if you are interested in starting your own seeds inside. Basically all you really need is grow lights. I don't have a fan on them right now. I have them in trays, but you don't need trays. You can do it without the trays. I just like the trays because it keeps it a little cleaner. And yeah, that's basically all you need. And don't forget to water. But yeah, next year we're hoping to get a proper greenhouse shelf in the garage so we can start more starters and possibly sell some. I know I made way too many plants this year, but you know, we'll see how it goes next year. And yeah, so those are those two tiny plants that I just put in those pots. They should grow. It's about a week after I planted these that I'm recording this, and they have grown a little bit, but not a ton. But the weather hasn't been super warm, so yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe it just needs some warmer temps, but yeah, the Fresno and the Reapers are doing fantastic though, and as well as the two that I bought from Home Depot. So I'm super excited. We are almost done with our garden project, hoping to finish it this weekend. And don't worry, I'm going to have a full video on the garden transformation. I am looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to having my garden. And yeah, I'm going to also be putting some berries and some rhubarb and possibly asparagus, but that might not happen until next year, in raised garden beds, inside or outside of the garden. We do need to get a deer fence up because our back is basically a swamp or like natural woodlands. And so we have a lot of deer in our backyard. Unfortunately, it just means that we need to have a deer fence, which is a little bit more expensive, but we want to save our crops, and so it is definitely a necessity. So we almost have the 6 peppers planted in the pots on the deck. Have you guys ever planted peppers in pots to bring them inside over the winter to hopefully get more production out of them? Let me know. I'm very curious to see if this will work. Maybe I'll let them sit in the garage. It's an unheated garage, but maybe they'll come alive next year. I'm really not sure. I need to do research on peppers because I am not sure if they need to be in the sunlight all winter long to continue to grow, or if they kind of hibernate and they can go in a garage, in a unheated garage over the winter. But I do know, I do know that in the nature, peppers are perennials, and they get like a wooden, almost like a tree, main stem. So the peppers should theoretically do great in pots, as long as I put them in a big enough pot. Moving on to the greens now. I am a huge fan of salads, so I am planting a couple different salad mixes, and I think baby spinach, microgreens, a different salad, I can't remember what it is, like a sweet salad, and then chives, because I originally bought this tier for just herbs. We were going to do like catnip, parsley, cilantro, all that good stuff, but looking at the package, they should be planted in the garden beds rather than in this, because these won't get as deep, and they're not as not as like big. They're not big enough for the other plants, so that's just not gonna work. You saw I just sprinkled those microgreens over the dirt, and I'm pretty much just gonna call that good, because I will water it, of course, but I don't want to over water. I don't want to like overdo it, and theoretically just doing that should be fine. Most of these have sprouted, and I am looking forward to eating them so much. I have never grown my own lettuce or anything like that, and looking back, I definitely wish that I would have done this while I was apartment living, because I love salad. I always have loved salad, and this is just a way to grow your own salad, which is pretty cool. And yeah, so the top two, the microgreens and one of the salads, I just did I just sprinkled them across the top. These bottom two are the chives and I think the baby spinach. But those I am actually just doing one small row about 2 inches apart. And hopefully that it won't overcrowd. But these do take, I think, up to 90 days before they're harvestable. So that is why I wanted to do it a little bit differently. But yeah, I think that these are all going to turn out. I think I need to go water. I don't know. Watering when we get rain is so hard for me to know if I actually need to water or if the rain was enough water. Okay, I got everything planted. I do need to get it all watered, but I thought of another thing that I want to get started. I sell catgrass at a lot of markets, and I sold catgrass on Facebook Marketplace maybe a month ago, and it did so good. So I'm gonna make another batch of that, and hopefully that will also sell really well on Facebook Marketplace. Basically, you'll see it in a second, but I put 16 little containers that I got off of Amazon on a 12 by 12 sheet, or it's like a tray plant thing, on a tray, and I just put seeds on top. I sprinkle a little bit of soil on top, but not too much, and then literally just water it every day, keep it in good lighting, and it does amazing. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna clean up a little bit, get my pots out for doing that. We'll plant that up, and then we'll get everything watered. Okay, so these are the little planters I found on Amazon. They're 3-inch by 3-inch, and they are only like 20 cents a container, so they're really affordable. And then I also use this catgrass, also found on Amazon. It's like one of the first results when you search in catgrass. And I do about 1.5, no, not 1.5. I use about maybe a little less than 1 teaspoon per container of the catgrass seeds per container. I like to try to keep it relatively similar since it is something that I sell. But I'm gonna go ahead, fill all these up with soil, put the seeds in it, and then I just sprinkle a little bit of soil on top. We'll give it a nice healthy water. And these are actually gonna stay inside, just so that people keep them inside, so it's fine to keep inside. When I decided to make this catgrass a couple of months ago, I honestly didn't know how it was going to do. I thought it was just going to be another thing that does not sell well and we get stuck with a lot of, but it actually did really well. So that is why I am making it again, specifically for Marketplace. And then I will be making it all summer long for farmers markets. But if you are looking for a small side hustle related to gardening, I highly recommend making some catgrass and putting it on Facebook and just seeing what happens, because this all cost me maybe $20 to start making the catgrass, and then I was able to sell each container for $4. I'm actually going to up that to $5 just for round numbers, and because people did not bat an eye at a $4 price tag, so I'm just going to up it to $5 and see what happens. But the cost of each catgrass is about 50 cents, so there's a pretty good profit per container sold. But of course, you always have the risk of being left with the whole tray. But it is what it is. But I mean, if you sell 2 containers, you'll be profiting for the whole tray. So that's just kind of how I look at it. And yeah, I did notice after this batch sprouted and matured, I should have gone heavier on the seeds. So if you are also going to be making this, I recommend using about 1.5 teaspoons of seeds per container rather than about 3/4. So just kind of doubling it and making it look nice and lush. There are a lot of benefits of cat grass, specifically for cats, but yeah, I will let you guys do the research on that if you are wanting to know the benefits of cat grass for cats. And I'm going to leave this little voiceover here. You guys enjoy the rest of the video. Thank you all for watching. And yeah, I'm just going to let the voiceover end now. Alright, that is it for the cat grass. I'm going to go set this inside, out of reach from my cats, and I'm going to water everything else. I had some poor planning on my part. I have to leave to get my kids from daycare, but I still have to water this thing. But I don't want to do it with the pitcher because there was a lot of soil displacement and I don't want the seeds to get displaced. So I think I'm gonna water those later. I'm gonna have to bring it over to my side faucet and use that hose. The hose that is able to reach the deck is currently out of maintenance or out of order. We need my father to come and fix it. So we will do that, and hopefully it won't take too long for him to come and fix it because it's gonna be a long summer watering flowers and everything on the deck. But I am going to let this video end here. Thank you all so much for hanging out. If you have any tips, tricks, comments, anything like that, let me know in the comments and we will catch you guys next time. Bye. Oh, gross.